If you guys can give a warm welcome to Mr. Chris Goode.
Can y'all hear me? Good evening.
Good evening.
Oh, I know y'all tired, but come on. Good evening. Thank you so much. I'm talking about 75 years. And that's, I don't take it lightly. Before I speak, and I, was talking to Daisy about being an introvert. God has a way, to pull us out of our comfort zone for progress. And before I speak, I have to give my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, his praise. I'm only 41 years old, but I've been through a lot, seen a lot, and there's absolutely no way without my mother introducing me to Christ that I wouldn't be even close to standing in front of you. Thank you to Lornell and the entire Jones family for entrusting my voice. It's such a meaningful moment in your family's history as we celebrate 75 years of family, service, care, and legacy for Lawrence A. Jones and Sons Funeral Home in Kansas City, Missouri. My name is Chris Goode. I'm the very proud founder of Ruby Jean Juicery here in Kansas City. My business honors my late grandmother, Ruby Jean, who died of type 2 diabetes at age 61. We use fresh juice and healthy food that actually tastes good. As a means of granting more of us the longevity I deeply wish my grandma had. More importantly, my business allows the longing and love we have for my grandmother to afford the Ruby Jeans that are still walking around a gentle mirror to peer into without judgment or the desire for perfection. Ultimately, I base my life squarely on using grief and love as fuel, with the pursuit of progress as a means of resistance. I remember when my grandma passed and how delicate the collective psyche and heart my family were during the homecoming and burial process. That period of life was very fertile, and either anguish or purpose could take root. So the work that the Jones family has undertaken over the last 75 years in Kansas City simply couldn't be more meaningful. It's my great honor to stand before you all to celebrate Lawrence A. Jones and Sons' 75th anniversary here in Kansas City. I like to say that standing in this spot on this stage is something I truly do not take for granted. Kansas City is a very, very special place. And y'all know that if you call it home. It's made special in our community in part through the dedication exemplified throughout the history of this storied and meaningful company, setting a standard for Black business and business, period. Now, there are certain things that really make me scratch my head. For instance, I have an almost 7-year-old and an almost 2-year-old as of tomorrow, both boys. When I think of my mother, my mom being a single mother early on in my life to 4 kids, I get confused because there are days being a father, and I'm married, to half as many kids leaves me taking a deep, deep breath, okay? Like, how in the world did my mama manage? Like, how did she cope with having next to no resources at her disposal and raise 4 kids on the east side of Kansas City? But to do so in a noble way, a way that her shoulders didn't slouch or her smile didn't slant. She walked upright and had the nerve, the audacity to be singing Luther on a Saturday morning cleaning up. She praised and prayed through it all. What I've come to realize is that she simply did what she had to do. She managed through faith and with the support of my grandma and others. But ultimately, she did what she had to do. Now, being in business for 10 years now, 1 decade, and standing here before you, there's something else that makes me scratch my head. Lawrence A. Jones and Sons Funeral Home has been in business for 75 years. 75 years. And they've done so in a noble way, in a way that oftentimes places community above profit. For me, 10 years has been a mountain to arrive at in business, a mountain. The hurdles, the unexpected happenings beyond my control, it's been a daunting journey. To extrapolate that out for an additional 65 years leaves me in awe of this family's ability to overcome, to endure, and serve at such a high level. Now, to understand the longevity of this family legacy further, I decided to look at what the climate of our country was, what it looked like when Lawrence A. Jones and Sons was also a 10-year-old company, as I am today. The year is 1960. In America, and the fight for civil rights is well underway, and we see student sit-ins at white-only lunch counters across much of the South. Brown versus Board of Education had concluded just 6 years prior, but school segregation continued and persisted. Overall, segregation remained strong. Here in Kansas City, redlining was pervasive. And throughout the country, there was deep distrust of law enforcement, with police violence frequently directed at Black people. Black people were largely faced with poorer schools, poverty, and limited employment opportunities for economic advancement. The presidential election between JFK and Nixon, which Mr. Alfred Brooks alluded to, was a turning point that signaled the importance of the Black vote, with both candidates attempting to court Black voters. JFK would ultimately win in part because he showed sensitivity towards Dr. King, even calling for his release after his arrest. And Dr. King had even been stabbed just 2 years earlier, narrowly avoiding death. Even with the rise of Dr. King and others, Black political representation was limited and physically stifled. Finally, the path to home ownership was heavily restricted by redlining, which our city faced directly. This also made bank lending for Black businesses virtually non-existent. Whew. So here we are, 65 years later, in an advanced climate, all right? Police violence is still far too common against Black people. The alleged suicide of a young Black man is currently being questioned for good reason. We've just come off an election where the Black vote was heavily courted and even caused some division amongst Black people. Blackness has become a scapegoat and a poster child of criminality and violence in a country that seeks to use division as a means of control. And I know what I'm here to talk about, but bear with me, stay with me. Funding for Black businesses is still difficult to obtain, and that inherent struggle is being monetized by pastoral organizations that see value in bridging the gap between wealth and Black struggle while ensuring profit stays in the middle ground. Today, social media has created a warped identity for people, allowing comparison to enter minds at every single scroll. Social media is also used to create chaos, spread misinformation, and even steer election results falsely. Here in Kansas City, as my feet stand before you on this ground, we are witnessing gerrymandering intended to stifle, silence, and flat out steal future votes of maintaining control. The longevity of Lawrence A. Jones and Sons family is a testament to their ability to maintain family cohesion in the midst of chaos. They possess the ability to overcome family conflicts for the greater good of not only their family, but our community. In the midst of external challenges and chaos at times in our country, Lawrence A. Jones and Sons was able to care for our families at their most vulnerable, emotional, pivotal times. I was told that some of the most difficult obstacles for this family business to overcome on their way to this 75th year have been funding and balancing growth between being funeral professionals and running the overarching business. I'd imagine that has been like learning 2 languages simultaneously. Lastly, I was told that caring for other families so deeply while still caring for their own has been a true balancing act. This family has performed that balancing act for many years, and I'm personally grateful that they did. When they built their family business, it was from scratch. There was no blueprint. The only way they were able to endure, and not only endure, but thrive, was to do so with arms locked among family members, and with one central goal: family love as the resounding force that supersedes personal ego and the lack of a reference point. To me, that means self-sacrifice for the greater good. Our collective purpose, goal, and love grow stronger with every fiber they include, and every family member who heeds that call, and several have. I, for one, am grateful they didn't stop at survival. They pressed forward into thriving in the context of their longevity and true service to our community at moments that could break us. I mean, burying somebody that you love is just, it's a different kind of a thing. And to know that you're looking across at people that have your best interest is everything at that time. Their ability to keep going, in my opinion, not just a reference point that has served for my small black business that has scratched and clawed to 10 years in a challenging climate. I'm here to appeal to you all today. I very well realize the level of power, faith, experience, and intellect I'm amongst in this room. Very well aware. When I say this, it comes from the bottom of my heart. Lawrence A. Jones and Sons Funeral Home has gifted our community something we could never repay. The togetherness, consistency, love, faith, and service this family has shown Kansas City is how we are to endure today. As we look around and often wonder what's next, as we wonder how the world we live in could at many times hate us, deter us, and boastfully prevent progress, we must cling to their example. As we look around and watch the attention span of our inner selves be utterly distracted and exhausted by the challenges in this country, it is their example that we must hold fast to. Togetherness, consistency, love, faith, and service are prerequisites to progress. What this family has built is now a 75-year-long bridge that entrepreneurs just like me get to stand on. Regardless of how dark, how bleak, how divided, or how rejected goodness becomes, following our deep faith in Christ, we must perform the works just as you all have as a family. Because your family has endured, I know I can. I now have a tangible reference point for what longevity demands of me. On behalf of this entire audience, our entire city, I would like to say thank you from the bottom of all of our hearts. Thank you for caring for our families for 75 years at the most critical time. Thank you for laying a blueprint for my business and our community, a blueprint that we can use perpetually in our quest for progress. My people, my good people. If now is not the time to ensure that we are standing firmly together, using examples like this to venture through whatever may come, I don't know when will. May God bless you and keep you, Jones family. Happy 75 years. Thank you so much for having me.